Hello friends. Organic farming is production of crop and livestock without use of pesticides, chemicals, genetically modified organisms, antibiotics and hormones. The organic farm should be self-sustainable. It has blending of factors like crop, trees, cattle shed, livestock, storehouses, farm offices. These all should locate at appropriate and convenient location. The designing of the farm should be in the way that these all resources should be optimum utilized. For the purpose today we have an expert Dr. K.S. Yadav, Senior Scientist, कृषि विज्ञान केंद्र सागर, जवाहरलाल नेहरू कृषि विश्वविद्यालय, जबलपुर. Now Dr. Yadav, please.
Thank you, madam. Now calling for me as an expert here. Well, students, you are most welcome in the session. Today, we have discussed on the topics of characteristics of an organic farm. Under the organic farming, in this chapter, we will understand on the following topics. The first is the purpose of the farm designing, and second is various components of an organic farm. Now, third is tillage and soil tilth. Fourth is significance of the border trees, and last is buffer zone. As you know, organic farming is a method of the crop and livestock production without the use of pesticides, fertilizers, genetically modified organisms, antibiotics and chemical growth hormones. Therefore, various components like land, crop, trees, livestock, cattle shed, compost yard, storehouse and location of the farm have cumulative effect on the organic farming. Designing of the farm plays an important role in proper utilization of the resources within the farm. In organic farming practice, it is necessary to have a buffer zone to prevent the contamination from the outside. Now, second, designing of the organic farm. How to design of the organic farm? In case of the organic farming, the location of the different enterprises components is considered on the top priority in designing of the organic farm, so that there is no competition for the resources. The grassland, pasture meadows, orchards, hedges, ecology, rich fallow and arable lands, waterways, pools, springs, ditches, wetland and swamps are the taken into the consideration on designing of the farm. However, in organic agriculture, the farm design with livestock forms of the combination of enterprise. The on-farm available resource are utilized applying farm management principles. The net income, pollution-free products, healthy resources and agrobiodiversity are considered as a benefit of the farm design. Third is the main concern topics is characteristics and components of an organic farm. What is the characteristics? The farm should have a balanced combination of the components like the cereal, pulses, oilseed, cash crop, fruit crop, vegetables, crops, livestock including dairy animals, poultry, goats or sheep, fish, apiculture, etc. That would be meet the need of the farmers and their livestock. Fourth topic is layout of the farm. It means layout of the farm, how to lay out the farms of the organic farming. It means at first farm fencing is very necessary to care for crops, livestock and to check intrude. The cattle shed, compost yard, storehouse and office may be located at the higher elevation than the cropped area to prevent the inrush of the water inside the cattle shed, storehouse and office. However, the components of a farm vary widely due to the different ecosystems. The lowland farming system accommodates crop, piggeries, duck and fisheries enterprises in all possible combination with a view of the recycle the residues and byproducts of the component to another. The recycling process reduces the cost of the production per unit of the grain, milk, egg, biogas, etc., and enhancing the net return of the systems. In irrigated upland integration of the crop dairy, biogas, spawn and mushroom production, silkworm, rearing mulberry, cultivation and homestead garden with the apiculture may be practiced successfully in the dry land. In dry land, a farming system with grain crops, fodder trees, fruit trees, perennial grasses and goat rearing are the accommodated. Cover crops. Cover crops are the crops grown to improve the farming system. Cover crops are typically planted between the rotation of the income producing crop, but they cannot also be planted in the same time. In an organic form, the crop rotation must have a legume crop. The cover crop are grown to improve the fertility, suppress the weed growth and prevent the soil erosion. It also reduces the moisture losses from the soil and suppress the weeds. Sixth is trees in organic forms. Trees play an important role in the meeting and diverse the requirement. They form an integral components of an organic form. The benefit of the having trees on a suitable location at the farm are immense. Border trees. What is the border trees? Border trees are planted on the boundary of the farm of cropping area. Multi-purpose trees like the neem, karanj, jamun, mahuas, dalbergia sisu or any other local trees which are available in your area, importance should be chosen as a border trees. They are planted with the recommended spacing. They should be tall, fast and erect growing habit and having the less branching. The border trees serve the purchase of the bird that help in management of the insect pest. Further, tree like neem help in preparation of the various neem kernel seeds as a extract, which is the very useful in the insect pest and management under the organic farming. Agroforestry. What is the agroforestry and what is the importance of agroforestry in case of organic farming? Agroforestry is a holistic way of the farming besides production of the goods of high quality, and important aim is the conservation of the natural resources such as fertile soil, clean water and rich biodiversity. The nutrients return to the soil when leaves or the branches fall or plant die. It is the management of the agriculture, trees and livestock to same unit of the land to make the system self-regulation. Trees form an important components in the agroforestry. Farm forestry. Farm forestry is the management of the trees for the timber, fuel wood or fruits to the farmer. Conserve soil and water. As per the national recommendations, we should have at least 33% area under the forest. The firewood trees, timber trees and non-commercial wild fruit trees should be used for the farm forestry. Some examples of the ways to integrate the timber trees with other farm elements including the silvipasture system, windbreak, sequential cropping system, wide rows intercropping, dispersed tree. Benefits of the trees in the organic farming. It means that what is the benefit of the tree in organic farming? The tree can control the runoff and soil erosion, therefore reduce the loss of the water, soil material, organic matter and nutrients. They maintain favorable physical properties of the soil through maintenance the organic matter and the effects of the roots. They can lead to reduce the insect pest and associated diseases also. Nitrogen fixing trees and shrubs can substantially increase the nitrogen input to agroforestry system. Farm biodiversity. What do you mean by farm diversity? In the case of the organic farming, diversity in the crop production is second most important steps of the organic management, which not only the help in the management and control of the pest and disease, but also ensure the balanced nutrition of the soil. Diversity can be achieved by a combination of mixed cropping, intercropping, relay cropping and rotation with the legume. Use of the trap crop and barrier crop also add to the diversity. Field bunds. Bunds are among the most common techniques used in the agriculture to collect the surface runoff, increase the water infiltration and prevent the soil erosion. Normally, bunds are required about the 1 to 2% of the total cultivation areas. Usually, bunds are two types. First is the temporary and second is the permanent types in the fields. The temporary bunds are made by the seasonal works, and when the crop is harvested and field is plowed. In case of the permanent bunds are made to delineate some areas to another. Now, next is compost yard. In any organic farm, compost must be made available in abundance on the farm. The compost yard must be located close to the cattle shed to make the transportation and handling of the dung from the cattle shed easier. Farm structure. Farm structures are the common agricultural structure associated with an agricultural use such as the growing and harvesting of the crop and raising the livestock. These structures are used for varied purpose. The location of the structure at the farm should be at convenient and appropriate places. Cattle shed. The cattle rearing at the farm is an important activity of an organic farm. The site for the cattle shed should be at a higher elevation. The cattle shed should be located closer to the compost yard, which reduce the labor cost in the transportation of the agro waste for composting. The cattle shed should be preferably oriented in the east to west direction to have proper ventilation. Now, next topic is storehouse and farm office. A storehouse should be maintained to stock the form of implementation at the produce after harvest. The storehouse should be at least half a meter above the farm level. The storehouse should be damp proof. The windows and doors should be lined by fine wire mesh. To monitor the daily activities at the farm, keeping up the official record and other farm documents, a place at the farm should be maintained as office. A room of 5 into 5 meters should be constructed near the storehouse. Farm records. Farm records is the very necessary part to maintain the output of the farm. The common farm record or should be maintained mainly as a cash book, receipt and cash expenses, production record, feed records or input records, labor records, records of the farm products produced used in the house, cash records, cost of the production records, form of the income tax purpose and other miscellaneous farm records also. Tillage operation and land preparation. Tillage is the mechanically manipulation of the soil with the tools and implementation for the obtaining conditions ideal for the seed germination, seedling establishment and growth of the crop. Tillage are the two types, primary tillage and secondary tillage. The main objectives of the tillage are to prepare the good seed bed which help the germination of the seed and to create the conditions in the soil suited for the better growth of the crop. Third is the control the weeds are effectively. Now, fourth is to make the soil capable for absorbing the more rainwater. Fifth is the mix up the manures and fertilizer uniformly in the soil to create the soil. It is the sixth. And now next 7 is to provide the adequate seed soil contact to the permit water flow to the seed and seedling roots. Eighth is to remove the hard pan and to increase the soil depth. The tillage operation carried out before the sowing is very necessary to land preparation. Mainly plough, harrows, rollers and planks are the used for the land preparation. Types of the tillage operation. To achieve these objectives, there are the 4 kinds of the tillage operations for the preparing of the seed bed or preparation of the land. Now, first is conventional tillage, now second is minimum tillage, third is no tillage or zero tillage and fourth is conservation tillage. In case of the conventional tillage, the major objective is to conserve the soil and soil moisture. It is a system of tillage in which organic residues are not converted into the soil such that they are remain in the surface as protective cover against the erosion and evaporation, losses of the soil moisture. Minimum tillage is a method of land preparation in which the number of the tillage operation is considerably less than those in the conventional tillage system. The advantage of the minimum tillage over conventional tillage are the cost and time to help the preparation is reduced by the reducing the number of the fields operations. Soil compaction is the comparatively less. Soil structure is not destroyed. Water losses through the runoff and erosion is the minimum. Water storage in the plough layer in the increase. Now, next is no or zero tillage. This is a practice of the sowing the succeeding crop without any field preparation after the harvesting of the preceding crops. The soil is given herbicides to kill the weeds and then with the help of the zero seed drill, that is a machine that is called zero seed drill. The crop, for example, wheat after the rice, is sown directly in the field. Zero tillage reduces the labor and power consumptions in crop production. It reduces the soil erosion also. Now, next is conservation tillage. The major objective is to conserve the soil and soil moisture. It is a system of tillage in which organic residues are not inverted into the soil such that they remain on the surface as a protective cover against the erosion and evaporation losses of the soil moisture. It stubble forms the protective cover on the surface. It is usually referred to as stubble mulch tillage. In case of the organic farming or organic farm, buffer zone. Dear students, buffer zones are the important components of a farm of organic system plan. Buffer zones are put in place to make the sure that prohibited substances do not contaminate the organic crops. A buffer zone is an area located between a certified production operations or portion of a production operation and adjacent land area that is not maintained under the organic management. A buffer zone must be sufficient in the size or other features to prevent the contact by prohibited substances applied to the adjacent land area. The appropriate width of the buffer zone is based on the topography and crop cover. Generally, the width of buffer zone is 10 to 30 meters is recommended for an ideal buffer zone. A hedgerow or trap crop or trees of the 1.5 times more height of the crop are considered appropriate. So, I think that now you understand the various components and its their utility of a typical organic forms. That's all for this lecture. We'll catch you in next lecture with another interesting lecture. So, thanks dear friends and students.